The day is the 13th of March, 2003, and Goodyear J. Blimpkin finds himself in a bit of a conundrum. When he returns to his loft in the arid hills after a night on the town, he finds something that will haunt him for the rest of his life. Prior to his life as an entrepreneur, he worked parties as a clown. This clowning job eventually led to the horrific events that occurred at his loft. After a rather poor performance at a young boy's second birthday, a man walks up to him and tells him either clean up your act or drop the soap. Startled, he of course called the police, who arrived only 8 seconds later and shot the man who had threatened him only moments prior. Unbeknownst to Mr. Blimpkin, this man was his childhood best friend and fellow birthday clown, Boobily Bongo. After that day, Mr. Blimpkin pledged to never call the police so long as he shall live. He never thought that this pledge would seal his fate. The night of the incident, Mr. Blimpkin was drinking hard seltzers with fellow charity board members Bobby and William at the Slimy Fish Bar, playing games and having the time of their lives, a night that anyone who runs a charity would look forward to. After 5 hours that felt like 5 minutes, he walks home, leaving his red Prius in the bar parking lot. Now back at his loft, he slowly opens the door, only to find what would haunt him for the rest of his life. Now, when many people think of what could haunted them for life, it is hard to imagine what would happen. But Mr. Blimpkin didn't have to imagine. He found 3 cookies on the floor, clearly having been left there by an abusive cookie owner. He was devastated, and not only that, he had nobody to call after his pledge years ago. Suddenly, Iron Man flew in and arrested him, with him being the prime suspect for the crime, being the only one at the scene. Upon arriving at the police station, he was questioned for 37 hours straight, eventually confessing to the crime and giving up everything. I guess the story of Mr. Blimpkin shows how even the smartest of people can still make a clown out of themselves. Thank you for watching this week's episode of National True Crime Geographical. Next week, we will be covering the case of Dr. Horton Hearsawhu and the mysterious disappearance of his ex-wife's, dog's, cousins, brothers, friends, sister's $5 bill, and how it led to the mass murder of over 500 fruit flies in southern North Carolina in the 1980s.